Caribbean Christian and dancing in my blood. Caribbean Christian and dancing in my blood, my blood. Caribbean Christian and dancing in my blood. Caribbean Christian and dancing in my blood, my blood. Don't hold me, let me dance. Don't hold me, let me dance. Oh yeah, let me dance to Jesus. Let me dance to Jesus. Oh yeah, dance to Jesus. Oh yeah, yeah.
Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to Jaron Nis. I realized there was some gospel on right before I came in, and I couldn't help but play a little Jaron. My brother, good morning. I don't know if you're tuned in or if somebody might tell you, but I totally enjoy a lot of your music. And you know that as well. He's a brother, a Carnage brother. Love and blessings to you. We, as Trinbagonians, we are diverse. We understand the multiplicity of cultures, religions, creeds, races that we have in Trinidad and Tobago. And we respect one another. We show that love to one another. We focus on the commonalities that we have as people who believe in a creator. And we don't focus as much on the little differences that may exist, right? We are so tremendously alike as a people. And we should always focus on that and enjoying together to do what is good and, to discourage what is wrong. We should be mature enough to have conversation and discourse about issues so that, we could come to sensible conclusions or just agree to disagree at times as well. True intelligence is the ability to learn and to change, right? It is not just sticking to one position regardless of if it's sensible or not. So, good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Really interesting one there. Caribbean Christian. I think John in the studio before would have put on some gospel. And when I couldn't help but click on Jan when I came in to set up in the meanwhile. Blessings to all of Trinidad and Tobago. If you believe in a higher power, in a creator, strengthen that belief. Seek the truth and stay focused on that and that direction. There's a lot otherwise trying to pull us in all sorts of ways, in all sorts of directions, to get us to believe in materialism, in just this life alone, to become despondent, to lose hope. There's a lot going on in our space, so we must stay firm and stay solid. I wanted to share something from the news today with you all because I was going through the article in detail. It concerns us as a people, as a nation, and we must always mind our business. It's something that I was taught that we should don't study people business too much, right? Unless you want to learn from a positive example or something, or learn from even a negative example what not to do. But you see, your business, and our business as a country, we need to pay attention to it. And yesterday we had the opening of a new Port of Spain Hospital, the new main block, right? We know that there was some structural issues with the old one, and a new one had to be built. And after some time, after quite a few years, with some delays, COVID, some contractual issues as well with the Chinese contractor, etc. It is somewhat completed, right? We intelligent enough to understand it's a partial opening. Dr. Rowley wanted to open it before he left, and although it is not ready for patients, which is the purpose, but they did the grand ceremonial opening thing. And what is important, I mean, that is an important delivery, but what is also important is some of his remarks, on that day. Not just in particular about that hospital, but also about Trinidad and Tobago and our future, our economic future. And in particular, when we speak about our economic future, many times this dragon deal comes up, into play. It is spoken about because it has been put forward as an essential element of our economic future. It has been spoken about for quite a number of years, and unfortunately it has not been realized yet. And there are many a doubt now as to the ability to actually realize production and for us to begin and continue exploiting this gas between Trinidad and Venezuela that we share. So I just wanted to read some of what was said yesterday at this opening. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has warned that this country's cuckoo will be cooked if the dragon gas deal with Venezuela goes sour. The Prime Minister yesterday expressed confidence that Trinidad and Tobago was on solid footing with respect to its agreements, but cautioned that there could be a calamity in terms of paying the nation's bills if the United States revokes the license approved for the dragon gas deal, or if Venezuela decides not to allow Trinidad and Tobago to access the gas. Rowley was speaking at the official commemoration ceremony marking the practical completion of construction of the Port of Spain General Hospital, Central Block yesterday. He explained that hospitals, schools, and the country's expenses required revenue to be maintained. Rowley referenced a newspaper report in which an opposition member claimed that the Dragon Gas project had failed. He pointed out that when one attends a game, they cheer for their team to win, not to lose. So I am asking the rest of you to send your telepathic power to overcome this negative nonsense about the future of the Dragon deal. Because what we have been able to accomplish there, if I may say so myself, is a marvelous surprise to many people because our gas within our borders is running out, he said. Rowley warned that the country could face future problems without energy deals. Ladies and gentlemen, we take too much for granted in this country. That is why we could have people in this country wanting to celebrate the failure of the Dragon deal. But I can tell you, they wouldn't have any problem They stashed away enough, so you who haven't stashed away anything, it is your condition that they are laughing at, he said. He said securing Venezuela's agreement to allow Trinidad and Tobago to obtain a license to extract gas from a proven Venezuelan gas field was something the country should celebrate. This was achieved at a time when geopolitics was such that the United States and other countries were setting new parameters and new terms of trade, the Prime Minister said. And sanctions by one country against another country could have the effect of destroying our economy. We're not involved in it, but it can destroy everything that we represent, that we hoped for, he added. I just want to pause there for a little while, right? So we have this warning that is coming to us that we can have serious difficulty economically in the future if we are not able to realize it's not specifically this deal alone, but this deal and other gas and energy deals. He's a little broad. Earlier on he doesn't specify this deal only. And I hope that all of our eggs are not in one basket in Trinidad and Tobago, because what we have seen is a real possibility of this deal in particular not coming to fruition. It has been spoken about, for some years. Well, it has been held up as a beacon of hope economically for Trinidad and Tobago, and quite rightly and fairly, the fact that it has not been realized and now there are serious doubts about its realization does bring a certain level of fear, concern, and disappointment to the population of Trinidad and Tobago. We have had oil and gas for, oil for 100 years and gas thereafter. We've had booms and busts as well, ups and downs, and we are still tremendously dependent upon these non-renewable resources. That is the reality of our economy. It is the reality of all of our governments, past and present. And to be at a point where we are so vulnerable that our cuckoo, in local terms, our cuckoo would be cooked if we were not allowed to use the dragon field gas. That is extremely concerning to me. That's extremely concerning to me as a Trinbagonian, as a father, as a citizen of this country who has invested and who is invested in my country, who I don't really want to seriously contemplate moving, migrating, etc., because the economic conditions would force me to do that to maintain a decent standard of living. We are too vulnerable as a nation, even in our energy sector. Our inability to produce the gas that is necessary at this point in time to power downstream is a level of vulnerability that we cannot be comfortable with, and we should not have found ourselves in. I mean, it is always easy to speak in hindsight, but more and better could have and should have been done. We have a Heritage and Stabilization Fund. I know that investments are made with that fund, but the level of security that a country needs economically is not present for us at this point in time. And that is disheartening. That speaks towards less than a good standard of management of our economy. And in particular, this Prime Minister speaks about the fact that we are so vulnerable that if these things are not realized, we, the citizens, are immediately going to feel that decrease in standard of living. For a matter of fact, I think many of us across Trinidad and Tobago over the past few years, over the past, I don't know how long for some people, right? Over the past few years, have been feeling a certain constriction and restriction. And to be faced with talk of further constriction, further austerity is a very, very daunting prospect. As a young businessman as well, I am extremely cautious about investment in a climate like this. If I have $20, $200, $2,000, $20,000, whatever it may be, and I'm thinking about doing something with it that will bring back returns to me, when I look at the economic climate of Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time, I am not encouraged to invest. You know, I shy away. I'm more inclined towards saving because I'm not sure where more will come from. I'm not sure if I set that seed into Trinidad and Tobago, into the economic sphere, that what I put out will come back with the returns that are necessary for it to be fulfilling. And that's a difficult prospect. I'm not trying to scare people. I'm not fear-mongering, because I know political parties, you know, fear is a powerful prospect, and fear is something that people use to drive you in a certain way. If we look at sheep or any other animal in mass, you know, you chase them with a stick, you let the dogs run around them, or the fear of a bigger horse when you ride a horse and kind of push them in a certain direction. That's a tool that is used. But that's not my purpose in talking about this issue in particular. My purpose is just to draw to the realities that exist because of our previous actions, so that we can find a way in the future to not find ourselves so susceptible, so vulnerable. And of course, the Prime Minister goes on to outline to us how very dependent we are on this revenue. So he goes on to say, and it's under the heading of what happens when gas runs out. The Prime Minister questioned whether Trinidad and Tobago, where Trinidad and Tobago would be today if these energy initiatives had not been accomplished. He also asked what would happen to Point Lisas, which the country depends on for a major revenue stream. What happens when the gas runs out? And it would run out in 8 years, you know. It will be running out along the way until, but the 8th or 9th year, it's gone, he said. Rowley warned that between now and then, the problem of insufficient gas supply would impact revenue and the country would face challenges in paying its bills. He stated that in the national budget of 60 billion, approximately 6 billion was allocated to people who have no other source of income. Rowley said TNT was a country where people have become accustomed to the government covering their bills through subsidies for water, electricity, medical care, and education. Services that will be affected if there is no sustainable revenue stream. He acknowledged that while money could be obtained from the IMF, it would come with conditions, including the removal of subsidies. Oh boy, that last line, I didn't even want to read it, but now, I don't know if it's just me, but there's so many bitter pills that have been given to us over the last 9 years. For me, as an adult, we have had better times. I can remember better times in Trinidad and Tobago economically. I could remember periods where there was liquidity among the people, the masses, where you could have felt in the climate money existing and people able to purchase goods and services, and there was a sense of ease economically. I could remember that time. But for the past 9 years, it has been a continual process of challenges. Of course, there has been this COVID-19 whatever pandemic, whatever time, which I understand has greatly affected not only Trinidad and Tobago but other economies as well, and that is of no fault of government or anyone else. But the lack of sustainability, the lack of diversification, the lack of investment of our windfalls and our booms into sectors that now we can depend on, falls squarely on those who have led our economy for the past 50 years. And I find it extremely hard to celebrate anyone who has been part and parcel of that particular economic failure. While I understand, for example, the importance of a new hospital and new hospitals for us across Trinidad and Tobago, I understand the impact of a negative economic situation in our country. And I look at $1.3 billion spent on this main block. I look at $500 million spent on Point Fortin, how much other $100 million spent on Sandy Grande, etc. I look at close to $1 billion or more spent on Couva, and I understand the importance of healthcare. I look at 100 million private-public partnership, Ministry of Health, grand building. I find that building very, very appealing in its infrastructure, the way it looks. It's a nice building. I think NH built that as well. Hundreds of millions adding up to billions of dollars spent on buildings. Fair enough. And I'm saying that these billions of dollars, certainly some of them, if not all, could have been directed towards creating an economic future for Trinidad and Tobago where we would not be susceptible as we are and vulnerable as we are to the issues that we are facing today. Where we won't be staring down the barrel of a gun of it's running out. If we don't get it done, we could have massive difficulty economically and austerity. Trinidad and Tobago? Where else have we found and pursued competitive advantage? Competitive advantage is an area in which you can do something great and compete in the world in terms of trade. Where have we identified, dear Prime Minister? Where have we identified and pursued with vigor? Because we understand that if we do not get it together, we are vulnerable. Where have we pursued? Where have we invested in other than Trinidad and Tobago? So just in case, Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund, Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund, Emirates Sovereign Wealth Fund have tremendous investments across the world. Real estate, energy companies, technology, you name it, they have tied themselves to other economies and other companies so that returns come to them. We are blessed. We have been tremendously blessed as a nation. Do we own 1,000 acres of land in Guyana where we are farming, or a company, a subsidiary of Trinidad and Tobago, are farming rice or whatever else that is absolutely essential when it comes down to it? Food is and has always been just as essential as oil. We ship and we sell our oil and our gas across the world, and then we purchase 6 billion in food. And when will we become serious? When will it stop be just a raid the ban, just grab and grab and grab, plunge Trinidad into more debt if you don't have enough, borrow? When will it be an end to just depending on that and not taking it and building a sustainable future? We had Vision 2020, we had Trinidad and Tobago supposedly supposed to become the financial hub, and buildings like that, and Chogam, and all sorts of billions of dollars spent. Billions of dollars. Palaces being built. Opulence. $300 million into how much million more a teaching stadium for cricket, when you have a whole big facility in Port of Spain. Okay, if we had it, so much money. $80 million to power wash it after. The amount of money it must be spent now to maintain it. The seat of parliament, like no other in the Caribbean. Absolute opulence. When you go into the rotunda, marvelous. Hundreds of millions of dollars. There is no other Caribbean leader with a palace the like of Trinidad and Tobago. Just drive around St. Anne's, that whole block, and just take a look in. You mightn't get in. And of course, in difficult circumstances, President's house had to be refurbished as well. Along with Whitehall. And then we have two Prime Minister's offices. We have Whitehall, and we have along St. Clair, the other new office that the Chinese would have built. Just tremendous money spent in Trinidad and Tobago. Just billions and billions and billions of dollars. And I know somebody gonna call to put the icing on the cake. Because as you prepare us for more austerity, as you prepare us for what may be our reality of further difficulty, you ensure that your nest is well taken care of with your increased pension and increased salaries. I could understand that if you were outlining how we are tremendously secure, and how even if gas or oil stops tomorrow, we could weather that storm because we have so many other forms of diversification. That's extra money for us. I could understand if that was what you were explaining to us. Then, by all means, I could have understood if we could have raised people's salaries, public service workers and others, along with the increases in cost of living, inflation, and people could have still bought what they used to buy. They could have still fixed their house. They could still add something, build something. Now, you literally see the slowdown where people cannot afford. It's just food, essentials. And we as a people, we are arguing as though that is good enough. We are satisfied. We are satisfied. That is the standard that we are comfortable with. It is insane, but I understand when people don't know better. What you see is just what you understand, and you think, in the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. The one-eyed man is the king. I am concerned for Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know if you all share my concerns. I am concerned for Trinidad and Tobago. And then here what they push here, the politics involved in it. You know, you telling us other people have fixed themselves. But it's us they're laughing at. That's what you're saying. The people. Let me find the little line before we go to a break. We're just going to take the break. We have 2 more minutes. I want to read the line. Ladies and gentlemen, we take too much for granted in this country. I agree, we take a lot for granted. I think even our leaders take a lot for granted, you know. They take a lot for granted. That is why we could have people in this country wanting to celebrate the failure of the Dragon gas deal, the Dragon deal. Agreed, it is nothing to celebrate. That is a position that does not make any sense. But I can tell you, they wouldn't have any problem. They stashed away enough, so you who haven't stashed away anything, it is your condition that they are laughing at. You anger some people there, right? We turn on whoever you're talking about stash away, right? I don't know if it's 1%, I don't know if it's the opposition, I don't know whoever, but whoever it is who stash away, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? And who has facilitated for their stashing away? Lock them up if they stash away. It is our condition that they're laughing at. I don't know, you know, Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know. I hope all you know. You all know the phone line numbers 342-0081-466-5391. We're going to take the break and then all you have to know, we have to know, because all of them stash away, all of them stashed and cashed as far as I'm concerned. Both sides are defensed. But he would point us to one side. We'll take the break and then you all can come in on it, right?
Attention business owners. Are you looking to reach a vast audience and boost your brand's visibility? Then look no further. The Street 919 FM is here to help you shine. With over 170,000 followers on our social media platforms, our radio station is the perfect platform to showcase your products and services. Join us and let your message be heard by thousands of eager listeners. Contact us now to learn more about our affordable advertising packages. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to connect with your target audience. Advertise with the Street 919 FM today. For more information, call 399-5959, 384-2232 or 378-1470.
Lent is here, and the castle is making fasting easy and tasty. Come enjoy any of our 5 delicious fish options, all made with a fresh catch, seasoned local style, and cooked to golden perfection. Try the fish meal. 2 slices of fish with a side. The fish combo. 2 slices of fish, 1 side, and a drink. Maybe the fish sandwich combo of 1 sandwich, a side, and a drink. Want more fish? Well, the Royal Fish Meal is for you. Enjoy a slice of fish, a fish sandwich with a side and a drink. Or maybe you just want our famous fish sandwich. The delicious Lenten specials are hot and waiting for you at your nearest Royal Castle.
Are you searching for the perfect venue for your wedding reception, company retreat, graduation celebration, or just an unforgettable party? Well, look no further. Vibes Event Space is ready to bring your event to life. Located at number 15 Mount Pleasant Boulevard, Bonaccord, Tobago. Our space offers the perfect settings for any occasion. Call us today at 394-3612 or 620-3057 to book your date. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Vibes Event Space to see what we're all about. Make your next event one to remember at Vibes, the Event Space. The Event Space.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Iwer Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Chamfleur, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on the Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
Good morning again to Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to Street 91.9 FM. Let's hear your views on it. Let us try to unravel this myriad of issues that we have now found ourselves at. Let's try to understand now the rich country of Trinidad and Tobago, where we have found ourselves. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Yeah, morning. It's a real important topic you're talking about here. You're talking about the deception we have upon the universe with all the developing nation, the secret society. But again, right now, let me tell you who the clan gone. When Donald Trump was in power, I was monitoring global affairs. Well, it's for years I doing that. And I realized his role was to unify the European nation because they're looking at India had nuclear weapons, China, Japan, North Korea. So if they stay individually, that go be a threat. So they organize this UN, this United the United Europe then. You understand? And they realize Donald Trump get through it because in spite of all the division, they're trying to come together. But what happened? They can't do it by themselves alone. They're introducing other nations to come in too. You understand? But they're still trying to create that conflict. Let me tell you what it is doing. They send arms, boy, all over the world and infiltrate. They send secret spies, just like in ancient days. And they monetize this stuff. Let me tell you who these spies was. They're the Latter-day Saints. Now they're spying on the phone so they could spy everybody. You see, Latter-day Saints where they used to walk in here. Right now, they had them in a building monitoring the whole world on a big screen. You know what I'm saying? Because they're looking for ways to make AI more intelligent. Where they had a program, this machine into people's head. That is why they want to use the chip now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really Satan behind all this thing, deceiving them and all the people who carrying it out. They are highly deceived.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ come and fulfill the atonement which was from the foundation of the earth, which is this sacrifice which all nations does make. Everybody recognize Jesus Christ is the Lamb of God who come to make peace, general peace on the earth. All nations, all of the European nations understand that now. But the best joke is they don't want because we stayed in slavery so long to know is we the Bible really talking about. That is all. And that is the whole plan of everything we're going on in the world. You see the name Jews? That is the descendants. It's really Esau seed mixed with the tribe of Judah and the Ishmaelites. This is what I was saying. The Jews have the three descendants of Abraham in one package. That is why they come so important. So they come flexible, they come culturized. We is the people. We black people in the West here, my brethren. We is to unify the whole world in peace, love, with music. That is we work. Them cannot do it. No nation in the world can do that. We had the spiritual blessing of the cosmos. We have the solar panel at the cosmos, the black hole in the universe.
Yeah.
We has done that.
Yeah, thanks.
And they know that is the reason why.
With more precision, just to home in on what we're talking about as well. I know that is the wider context of what is transpiring, but we're talking about the fact that we have not been able to invest and diversify properly to a point where we at this stage, and I know you are a man who promotes farming and propagating self-reliance on food and food security, right? So I say that we focus on that. Yes. We need to focus on that so we're not dependent.
Yes, I'm doing that. Yes, I was trying to do that. Since with David Mohammed, when I used to call in, I used to try to, inspire that idea because I know it when I reach that. Right after boom is a bust, right? And you had to be mindful when the boom is there for when the bus come.
When happy days going on is when you have to pay attention because rainy days ahead, and we have had some happy days, and we have had some glad politicians and leaders in Trinidad and Tobago, continuing glad men because even as they tell us we facing difficulty and we cuckoo go be cook if so and so, they're still spending millions and billions of dollars carelessly, and they have not identified where we are going to invest in a real way to bring returns to Trinidad and Tobago other than this oil and gas that is non-renewable.
Well,
right? So
let me say one little thing quick before I go.
Yeah, finish off.
Listen, this is part of the secret society agenda we're going on with all the developing nations. They want people to come in the IMF. They encourage every developing nation of the world from Africa to India to all over steal the money and they will turn a blind eye because they make sure every single government minister is initiated the secret society. So they have power and dominion over the world. And it's plenty more like that I want to see.
Yeah,
But
that
I
makes
just have to
sense.
give people else a chance. Thanks.
Yeah, man, thanks. Yeah. It would be a disastrous shame for us as a nation if we reach back into the hands of the IMF. If we squander so much and then put ourselves in that position, it would be an absolute shame. Morning caller, go ahead.
Mr. Barker, good morning to you.
Good morning to you as well.
Good. Mr. Barker, I am listening to you this morning again, right? I said it to you yesterday, and I'm going back with it. True leadership is about accountability. Remember I said those words to you yesterday, right?
Correct.
Right. Mr. Barker, I am trying to get there with you. You know, like when you start in the morning to see what it is you're really focusing on, what you're really speaking about. And when you start, you speak about many things. Am I right or wrong?
Well, specifically this morning, I spoke about the Prime Minister's speech at the opening. Well, yeah, the opening, soft opening of the Port of Spain General Hospital. And in particular, the fact that he spoke towards the difficulty we will face if we don't realize this dragon deal. Right? That's what I'm speaking about specifically. And what I'm saying is, over the past 50 years and more, boom and bust after so much money has been spent by governments of Trinidad and Tobago, we are still in a vulnerable position where if this does not come true, he is saying to us, our cuckoo is cooked. We will be under more pressure. And that is concerning.
Were you happy to see the Port of Spain General Hospital, the new wings there open? Were you happy to see that yesterday?
Yes, it's a positive development. Infrastructure is a positive development.
So you were pleased with it, right?
Yes, I already spoke on it as well.
And I think everybody in Trinidad and Tobago was happy and pleased to see what transpired yesterday. Mr. Barker, could you remember Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj investigating former Prime Minister Pandey London flat?
Ma'am, that is not the topic at all this morning.
No, I know why I bring up that to you.
Right.
I know.
But make your point. Make your point.
Listen to me.
Yeah, don't
listen to me.
You see all that corruption and thing? Lock them up. Jail them.
Mr. Barker, we're not quarreling, eh?
I know, I'm saying, but jail them.
We're not quarreling, right? Right. We're not quarreling, right? I am listening to you because when it comes on in the morning, I just ask myself the question, what it is he really speaking about? Right? You're a young man, right? You're a young person, right? There was a time you came to Diego Martin West to represent the people in Diego Martin West. Hear me clearly. Yeah. I admire you. I saw you're a young person. What you have to bring for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, let me repeat it again for you. What you have to bring for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, right? Because remember I said to you, true leadership is about accountability, right? You hear what I'm telling you, right? You hear me clearly?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
I listened to you one morning, and I try to get where you want to reach. Where you want to reach. You understand me, Mr. Barker? Because coming on the radio in the morning.
I have a suggestion, Mom.
You have a suggestion?
Don't study where the end is. You see, day by day as we speak, just pay attention to what is being said now.
Okay, if you have a suggestion, I would like to hear what is your suggestion.
Well, I suggesting it to you now, Mom.
Okay, listen to me, Mr. Barker. I would come off the phone. I want to hear what is your suggestion. Not to come on a morning every day, every time you come on, and it's about the government and the government. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we love our country. It's who comes from different countries and love Trinidad and Tobago. And we have to continue to raise our head up high, raise it up high, and don't try to carry down the country, right? I'm going to listen over here to hear what is your suggestion, right?
All right. Thank you very much, yeah. I wonder sometimes if all of us love our country. Not meaning you, Mama, But I wonder sometimes if some people have no love for anything else other than money, wealth, and themselves. Because I see the actions of some people and they just plunder. They plunder. They plunder a nation. They plunder it. They feather their nest, as the Prime Minister say. They stash. And when people say things, sometimes it's pointing back at them, you know. When people say things, it could be applicable to themselves as well. They stash and they ensure that they are comfortable. All of them are comfortable and fettered and away from the hardship that all of us will face. When money comes through central bank, their salaries are paid. I don't think they just get paid late. I don't think they're still waiting on their back pay. I think when financials come and money comes into the treasury or whatever, I think they get paid pretty early. I've never heard a politician, I've never heard any of them complain that I waiting how long for back pay, or I have not been paid, payment come through late this month. And we have left Trinidad and Tobago vulnerable. We have not realized 2020 vision. The vision into 2030 is not looking like it's going to be realized. They have us waiting for dragon gas. They have us promises of better. They tell us now hard, pressure, and promises of better. I mean, come on. I can't feed my children promises. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Fuad. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, all leaders and the management of the station.
Morning.
Mr. Fuad, I like what you said when you told the caller, sometimes when you say things, you know, because you refer to a speech that the Prime Minister made, and sometimes when people say things, it points it back at them.
Yeah.
And that's a fact, because a lot of things are hidden. People have their own agenda, but they, you know, in order to catch something, you know the spider and the fly.
Yeah.
So things like that. But I want to say that, you know, when you become a manager, you invest time, right? You invest time and talent. So when you retire, you don't retire the same way you come in as a manager.
Right.
Right? But you know, many times people say things and I said, you know, I don't want to accuse people without facts. And anytime somebody's saying something, I want them to point out to the fact, right? But I want to say that even in Trinidad, there was a guy I'd seen sometime from Movan. I think he went away and come back. And what he has achieved, I can't remember it now, so I can't think, but maybe some family member hearing it would think. He has achieved a lot coming from that area, from a poor background. A fella coming, a Haitian coming from the slum in Haiti, serving in America from the slum, because it was listed. There was a German baby that born without limbs. And you know what? His focus on was to be a doctor. He signed his signature with his mouth, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people complain about what somebody else have and what this one have and that one have. I'm wondering where are they going when they're looking at somebody instead of trying to achieve what they want to achieve in life. And the focus must be that we help our people.
Yeah.
Do not tell people, oh, you are poor. Poor. I heard a caller last week telling you that he's on disability and he has 4 limbs. There are people without limbs to tell you this gentleman, and you can Google it, from Germany, not a hand or foot, signing his thing, and he wanted to go to college. His parents abandoned him, and he was adopted by a lady. And he did not want to go to the college that she said he wanted to go to his college. So he couldn't do anything but with his mouth and become that doctor.
Yeah, we have a young
Right.
lady here who does not have hands as well, who has been able to achieve tremendously as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And there,
And others.
so a lot of people can do things
Yeah.
with their hands at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
And when you tell me about URP and CPEP, it's temporary thing, you know, and Mr. Manning and they put those things in place. You're not supposed to study all your life, you know. Temporary to graduate you from that environment into something bigger so you can achieve your goal.
Yeah.
Right? But some people want to sit down on that, and that's it.
Yeah, but I don't only blame them. I feel as though you teach somebody how to fish and you prepare them in the society to go forward.
Exactly.
And then you create the economic climate as well. So I would like to see.
That is the economic thing that you created for them, so they'll have something.
Yeah. So I would like to see everybody who is in a position of disability, etc. Once you can do something, you are empowered to do that. So,
you really think we use the word disability?
but they're different disabilities. So, for example, there's a young man I know who's wheelchair bound, and he wanted a laptop to be able to do data entry and other things online. And he successfully does that as a business now. All he needed was the assistance to get that laptop. And
do you know,
that's the direction I would want to go.
Right. I'm not sure if it's an African or African American. It's the African American, but she's American, but of African descent. Deaf and blind. And she has, I think it's a doctorate or a master or PhD, whatever, who have finished that area of education. Okay? Deaf and blind.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are complaining because they want to hand me down, give me something that I could survive today. They're not thinking about tomorrow. But let me tell you, Mr. Ford, you know it's easy to have children. It's very easy.
Of course, yeah.
Right? And this is the problem we have in the world today. Everybody think that they will go to bed with another person and don't care what happened next. And then they put that blame on us who getting up early in the morning, thinking, and you know something too? Well, I'll talk about it another day. With the public servant that have been hired and they're not thinking, they just sit down by a desk.
Yeah.
Have a pleasant morning, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much for your contribution. I hope I gained you this morning, Chief. Morning.
Morning.
All right, go ahead.
I call you young men because you are strong. That is my word for the day.
All right.
I need one from you for the longest while.
I missed you yesterday. The phone line was giving some trouble. And you're a voice of reason, so I always welcome your call.
I realize that, like, but anyway, there is no code for the day. I call you for young men because you are strong, and they will figure out why I say that.
All right.
But anyway, yes, sir. Yeah, but anyway, based on the conversation here has happened this morning, right? Because you mentioned that there was a time when you used to feel that you know, like you have money around and all this kind of thing, right?
Yeah, you could have felt the liquidity in around the economy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but where it was coming from, sir? I ain't asking a question for you to answer.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Well, make your point.
Where it was coming from?
Yeah.
And where it was coming from, if in fact that we put back anything in place to keep it flowing, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't just dig into something because you had to dig in more than you take back out, right? So where it was coming from, if you put anything in place, up to now I listening to the conversation for the election and I hear nobody talking about what you expecting from. The more you expecting from this government, because I find they putting things in place. Like me, I remember the smelter, I remember all these other things that they plan for to diversify. But people shoot it down. A lot of people shoot it down. Right? The Dragon deal, people started shooting down. They bring sanction against they do all these kind of things.
Yeah.
Now, when you take the money and he was feeling that happiness, when he was feeling that flow around here, now the same heritage and civilization fund that he was speaking about was depleted. NGC was depleted with nothing going back into it. And if you remember well, it's until the eve of the election, you borrow money and build back up the fund. So now that you lose the election, the fund was to rebuild and the loan had to be repaid.
Yeah.
And this is part of why we are going through what we are going through. Because if you're coming to me now to tell me, don't vote here and don't vote there, and you are not telling me, well, what you're going to do. You don't like the Dragon deal because it's who bring it up. But you ain't telling me in your campaign speech, you ain't telling me nothing about what you're going to do to move away from the oil and gas or to ease up on the oil and gas, because I think that was the Prime Minister was speaking about, to ease up on the spending. He said we have. But if we continue the way we're going, we could cook.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure, instead of praising the fact that the deal or praying that the deal didn't come true, but you ain't tell me if the deal didn't come true, when I come in, what I go do? All they tell me is they take away baby grant and laptop.
Yeah,
all these kind of
you're telling us the deal is unlikely to come true. You're telling us all the negatives about supposedly Maduro, and you're not telling us where you are going to be able to fill that shortfall from. You know, that is a very, very big concern for many people across Trinidad and Tobago. But I want to say, Chief, money has been spending, Chief, and money has been spent. I outlined today billions of dollars spent on things that are not so necessary if you are going to find yourself in a vulnerable position. And I can't for the life of me understand how it is not an absolute focus to find some real way to earn other than oil and gas in Trinidad and Tobago. I believe that our leaders are lazy, Chief, that they are the ones who are dependent on oil and gas, and these windfalls and this money to just spend and spend and spend. It is weak politics, it is weak leadership, and they have left Trinidad and Tobago and the vulnerable people. I listen carefully, you know. Who stash away done stash away, you know. That is what the man saying, you know. Who stash done stash, you know. And he's saying is who don't have nothing. It's who to laugh at, you know, who they laughing at. And I agree. And I understand that. Because it have who stash. And it have 1% too good to go. Not just good to go. They done gone. They live part of their life in Trinidad, part wherever else. They have tremendous investments. Trinidad money all over the world, you know.
We know that.
Trinidad money that come out of our waters and the land as well. It's not just the waters. For a long while, the land of Palo Seco all over, wherever, you're still going and see pumping jack all now. Our money, touchstone, this one, that one, and it had touching stone from before that, 100 years. Our money all over the world, in the hands of a few. And now,
Trinidad, they're all over the world too.
Yeah, man, it have a few. It have big business people. We make Panama Papers, Chief. We is not no small fry in this place. Trinidadians make Panama Papers, not now. It have all money in Trinidad and Tobago. Who don't know, all they're dreaming. But the vulnerable, who getting $3,000, yourself who work hard, save lives during the course of your life as a fireman, etc. Work hard. We, the vulnerable, on a 3,000, on a 2,000 disability or grant or whatever, who working, we are the ones who going to see pressure. And that is not a tenable position. And if I were a leader, I would be frantically trying to find some way to fix the situation. I not comfortable. You go see my suit could be wrinkle because me and studying to iron my suit. I telling them, boy, if things really getting hard, I ain't driving this big vehicle with no set of outriders, because people watching me, and they go feel I is one who stash. But these guys and them have no shame.
Yeah, I hear anyway all of that, and I believe that mother was trying to go down the road because what she's saying is that we hearing everybody talking about the government and good this and that, and nobody ain't coming out to tell us, well, if we get a chance to be there, what we gonna do?
Yeah.
What I'm seeing here in the politics is like everybody want to go back to. We know what we're going to get from the UN, what we're going to get, and it's going to be worse. But everybody is pointing back, let me go back to them, because they you say give we a little thing, but they're giving we, and they're not replenishing the things. You can't just be putting out things and ain't putting nothing in place to replenish. I dare people to tell me.
But Chief, I hear that, I agree with you, but Chief, if they're saying to us now that we ain't getting nothing for 9 years, right? Relatively speaking, we get some big buildings, etc. It hardly had doctors in the hospitals. I'm going to walk through some of these hospitals. I hope they didn't stop me. I had to send somebody with a camera. Nothing going on. Half of the hospital not using. It don't have enough doctors. It don't have enough nurses. You have health center. You go to the health center. If it's your big and nice, the Chinese bill it, plenty money. We have to pay it. We have to pay it back. And when you go in it, Chief, half of it not using is white elephants. It is library in a time where you don't have no library again. Nobody don't go to a library hardly.
Let me tell you, my health center is properly used, right? I can say that for sure. And
Chief,
other health centers around
Chief
are
going to walk.
Yes, sir.
Are going to walk people through some of these monstrosities. They are tremendous, big, beautiful helipad on top of a point 14. You look at the population size. I don't know if we estimated a boom in our population in the future in that area or something. It's all nice. It's nice buildings. Ministry of Health had two what they say, the workers inside, they tell me it had two different kitchen and canteen, You clear glass, you see out to the savannah, beautiful buildings, but what is left in terms of our economics? Billions of dollars spent. NH happy. Contractors happy.
We agree that have infrastructure in our country too. We had to develop infrastructure, and the is 540 bed extra for the central block that that was handed over to us yesterday. That what I was saying. It was handed over to us, and it's for us to keep it going and keep it thing, and I hope we hire the correct set of people, bring the right set of people to utilize these buildings, because these buildings necessary. Yeah?
Chief, you're telling me you don't have money for doctors and nurses, Chief. You can't raise their salary, they're disgruntled, nurses are moving. I'm sorry to say, my family members who are nurses have migrated. My sister who's a doctor has not come back. What are we doing? We don't have money. They're not hiring. There are doctors on 6 months. 6-month contract. There are nurses on 6 months. But you're finding billions of dollars. Why we didn't take the Chinese and we let the Chinese show us how to build something technology-wise, or farming, mega farming, to the tune of $4 billion and realize $8 billion in returns.
That'll be human trafficking, That'll be human trafficking, because when we bring in the doctors and the nurses, a part of the people say that human trafficking.
That's a different topic. Don't throw me off. Don't give me that throw off.
I'm telling them, you still bring in the Chinese. So I tell them.
Thank you, Chief. But it not making sense, Chief. I understand and be happy for infrastructure, but it not making sense, Chief. And if we broke and we can't maintain it and we can't pay the doctors and the nurses who need to do the work inside of those places, but what are we really doing? Thank you.
But anyway,
thank you very much.
As a start off, I call you young men because you are strong. So the people who get in the little food voucher, when they finish talk on their program sometime, because yeah man, tell a man yesterday, when he finish he will get EPNM card, EPNM and party card, because I don't have one either.
Yeah.
But I hope he get his food voucher now when he come up now, because you know that brand company does give out things.
I want a strong Trinidad and Tobago. That is the main thing, Chief. Blessings.
All right, have a blessed one, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Morning, Mr. Akka.
Morning, morning.
How are you today?
Good, you're live and inside. I'm concerned, but I'm all right.
Well, we all are concerned.
Yeah.
Once you wake up in the morning, you have to be concerned.
Yeah.
You are in the land of the living.
Yep.
You're concerned about how you are going to eat. You're concerned about the sun. You're concerned about water. We all are concerned. We all have priorities. So this morning I heard you. And you draw me back, you called out the liars. And the administration building for the Ministry of Health. But you know something? I hear Rahal balling out too. You know that?
You hear Rahal balling out?
Yeah.
In ecstasy and joy?
Well, if you say so, from my standpoint, I ain't see that. Because the administration building on Park Street for the Ministry of Education was his own. And now it is moved out and gone around the Savannah where I don't have to pay a rental to the same 1% that you all are referring to.
You talking about the former mayor of Port of Spain, PNM Rahal? You talking about the same Rahal?
I'm talking about the Rahal Holdings Company.
Right, the same, yeah, same Rahal.
I don't know that. I know about
You don't know that?
I know about the Rahal Holdings Company, or whatever they call it.
The former mayor, the PNM Rahal.
I know Rahal was the former mayor of Port of Spain.
Yes, yeah. PNM, he was a staunch PNM for quite some.
He was the
Yeah.
He was also the Minister of Health as well.
Yes. And he was also a owner of a...
So I'm pointing out the issue is not about the former mayor.
No, I want to outline the other benefits that he would have gotten as well. That
all right. So since he has gotten that then, now, under this administration, they have taken it away and put it around the Savannah, so we are not paying any rent to his organization anymore.
Yeah.
Right? We now own the building.
Right.
So the public servants that work there, hope they take care of it and be productive.
Yeah, well, a company...
rent in the next 20 years, because we paid about 30 years down the road and we didn't own it. So hopefully within the next 20 years, the one around the Savannah will be ours.
Yeah.
If it stands up again for another 50 years, we would save that money in rent. That money could help KFC for his disability.
Yeah.
Because he had that problem. And you know something, I heard a lady a while ago before fire. How a disability man could continue to make children and can't mind them.
Yeah.
That makes sense? If you know you have a disability and you're not working, stop your night performance because you can't mind them.
Yeah, that's good advice. You are an intelligent man. If we have a certain amount of money and we know that we are going to have difficulty in terms of our future earnings through oil and gas, wouldn't it be prudent to take that money and invest it so that we have an income stream?
I did that. I started as aluminum smelter plant, sir.
Yeah.
And today, the citizens...
What aluminum smelter?
I said we started an aluminum smelter plant.
Is there an aluminum smelter plant?
Because the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago was confused and bamboozled by 5 political entities called the People's Partnership. And when they got into office, she sang the same thing she's singing now. about if we sell petrol station.
So you are blaming government past for no diversification over the last 9 years?
The citizens, yes, because if he had continued that, today our dependency on oil and gas, we have been selling aluminum.
And there are no other ideas that do not...
Yes, the mega farm down Shagaramas. And I was bringing in Cubans, and they said we were going mad. Would you like me to go on?
And what? That stopped the mega farm? The opposition stopped the mega farm too?
Yes. You know, because that, so just recently I decided to bring Sandal to Tobago. And there was a whole uproar about who is going to build it and how he's going to build it. I built Napa, I built the Hyatt, and put it up for rent, and a company came called Hyatt and rent the building. So I could have built the building in Tobago and rent it out for Sandal. The Hillside Hotel around the Savannah, who do you think owns the building? You see, we just come and talk. Enjoy your morning, my brother.
Yeah, you enjoy your morning as well. Yeah, we need to work seriously at diversification for sure. I think everybody agrees it, but fulfillment is a whole different thing. Go ahead, Prezi.
Yes, man. Good morning. And good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, Imam Fuad Abubakar. Oh, it's so strange how I put out a good consciousness yesterday, and in coincidence, this conference come up same day afterwards, that the conversation this morning could relay on the same situation of government faults to bring progress to this country from the day one to the day to day. So nice to walking into that, because, well, we have to give the truth. The Creator, you said early on, although plenty of us does talk about all the different names that they could give God, they don't have no entity, but truth is an entity. And with truth, we will get truth. I'm not fair over nothing here, because yesterday was yesterday, but today is today. Whatever was yesterday, what it did for today, bad or good, today now we have the consciousness of truth and realization of that we are today. When we get up this morning, we say prayer and is a new day. So I have a good thought that I could make tomorrow great again. And that is my way. Yeah, the gas deal, it might come down to some bad prospects. It might bring good. We don't know. I don't know the future. People that like to tell me and live illusion. I don't live illusion. I live in reality. And the fact is that we have to start to walk up now. If the gas and the oil and everything, we were living with it, and we now see, not you have no illusion now, we now see that we could have problems. We could have problems. So we talk about diversibilities. Long time ago we've been talking about that. It maybe then in position for us to really walk down the road because we had it nice. To do some innovation, no, we have to do that because, well, we couldn't bring diversification then, all right? So we see now we have to do it. All right, so let me innovate. Let me innovate in many respects. Innovate in bringing culture greater, in bringing awards greater, bringing educational better, bringing developments better. It is with us to do, as I said. The people have to rise up. Because you put 41 people to how much time you keep on putting them 41? There are only 41 people. And yes, they may be living off of the European or maybe 1% laws and legislation that won't come in. But we are the people who just absorbing the dotishness and not getting up to take over the system, which is time to do now. This is time like when I say, let us find and put people in the parliament from an organization that the people will develop so that they will grow their destiny. Bring dignity to themselves with their own ideology, their own thought. Governments don't give you nothing. Governments take from you. So all the things that you create and patent from so far back, prehistoric or whoever white man start or whoever European start, they patent your thing. So it's you who build in the world all the time. But you reach that point after slavery so much to depend on the people who stole from you because they have everything, but you're not rising up to make everything for yourself. That is our problem.
Yeah.
So I know I could go back. I keep on saying again, let me get into we as a people forming an organization and get ourselves in the system of where we are. Because even Islam, Krishna, Buddha, Jehovah, don't care what we do, we're talking a language today. That is that language that we have to depend on in a time where we know no other language. And so that the system is about the same. We have to find ourselves in the places where we could vie for what we desire, put up, and that is the places of legislative and governments and judiciary and all we have to as a people. And Islam have a lot to do with this thing. I wouldn't call the name too much, but it's the fact. They're staying out of things too much where they're supposed to be to help the society if they are to bring humans out of slavery. So they have a place to be, and I hope they pick up the trend. And there are documents that I sent out there. It is in many hands, and they have the portfolios and everything. It is in order to work in one time so that everybody will have a subject matter to are productive, because every month will have a subject matter that will bring production for the every month. And all of those portfolios have possibilities of all the ministries that we carry in all the nations. So I think that close up day to day with a little consciousness and thought. I hope all you pick up to what I just say. But all you recognize it's out there. You have those who can hold it down. Islam, depending on you for some reason or the other, I don't know, people may think, but you're staying out of our business. Where you're supposed to be in our business since you are part of the business. Yeah. So that's what we say today. And I'm glad I made the topic yesterday. It looked like a good prophecy that started yesterday, so all you could continue. And people from our organization, wake up and get into the business of governing your affairs for your dignity and your destiny. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you, Imam Fuad Abu Bakr. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. In our personal capacities, whatever we are involved in terms of production, let us try to work towards helping Trinidad and Tobago. So, I know young people who are involved, and I'm involved with them as well, planting peppers for not just for local consumption, but downstream, because it goes to some of the companies that produce in Trinidad and Tobago. I have said it before, so proud to see a pepper product on the shelves in England, in the United States, etc. Let us do whatever we can, but we do need a general direction towards serious diversification, right? We're going to take a short break again, and then we'll be back.
This meal tip is being brought to you by Royal Castle, our culture. our taste.
Lent is here, and the castle is making fasting easy and tasty. Come enjoy any of our 5 delicious fish options, all made with a fresh catch, seasoned local style, and cooked to golden perfection. Try the fish meal. 2 slices of fish with a side. The fish combo. 2 slices of fish, 1 side, and a drink. Maybe the fish sandwich combo of 1 sandwich, a side, and a drink. Want more fish? Well, the Royal Fish Meal is for you. Enjoy a slice of fish, a fish sandwich with a side and a drink. Or maybe you just want our famous fish sandwich. The delicious Lenten specials are hot and waiting for you at your nearest Royal Castle.
Here's another meal tip from Royal Castle. If you love wings, then the Royal Castle Royal Wing Combo is for you. Sink your teeth into 3 whole wings, 1 side, and a 16-ounce soft drink. Wonderfully cooked with tempting flavors and a nice golden crisp. Dip them into some Royal Castle Creamy Honey Mustard Sauce or our tasty pepper sauce and enjoy. Get your Royal Wing Combo now at all branches of Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste.
In this month, close to 2 billion Muslims worldwide observe Ramadan, their most holy and beloved month, yet most difficult. 30 days of fasting from food and drink and praying build mental fortitude and closeness to Allah. There is a lesson in their sacrifice, discipline, and faith, a motivation to us all to be resilient and look forward to a brighter day, just as the hunger of Ramadan ends with the joys of Eid. It is our prayer that the power of this holy month inspire humanity to awaken, to remember God, and to make this world a better place. Ramadan Mubarak to our Islamic community and our nation from your Royal Castle.
That tip was brought to you by Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste.
I would love to see Royal Castle across the world. You know, we have to think in that manner, the expansion of our businesses and being able to earn whatever foreign currency as well to balance us against them in terms of our trade balances. Those are things that we have to try to do. I would love to see our chicken. We still import a bit of chicken. I would like to see our producers produce to a level where we satisfy the entire local market. We export to others, you know, and we have that sophistication and we have that skill and we have that investment over time. You know, we have to look at real avenues where we can bring in, and not just we keep spending, not just they just pumping the oil and the gas out. It is non-renewable. It is going to finish. And then we don't know what to do after that. Which politician has told us what happens after? Which one? Which one has presented a sustainable path forward for Trinidad and Tobago? Or they just stashing, you know, he's speaking about the stashers, or they just stashing and then they will be comfortable and the next generation and they migrate and they have homes in Miami or wherever else. And so if it goes south, they go north. And who could afford to run will run, but those who cannot. This should not be just a gold rush and grab and grab and grab, and then you kill that which sustained you. It cannot be you love your little clique and your group and you don't love Trinidad and Tobago, and you don't love all the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and you look upon them with scorn. They don't want nothing good for themselves, and that is them. But we have shaped it into what it is. Heavy is the hat Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Heavy, it's a heavy responsibility. When I see men and women rushing, they want it. You need to really question what their motives are. And this is not, don't feel this is no, the next side or this side. The criticism and the blame is equally leveled against both groups. But the reality is that one entity has governed for a very long period of time. That's the reality. And they've had the capacity, which they have displayed at different points, to achieve, to do things. But unless we raise our standards as a people, then they will just give us whatever. There's no pressure. There's no onus on them to work. And we the people, the most vulnerable, are the ones who suffer. This is what the Prime Minister is outlining. The ones who are vulnerable are the ones who are going to suffer and are suffering. When they say tighten the belt, it does not affect those who are a little bit easier and fatter than those who are slimmer and lean. Think about it, Trinidad and Tobago. Think about it. I want you all to think more. Anybody could spend and blow money. But who could invest? Who could invest? Who could build? Who could ensure returns? Not just for themselves, because this is not a corporation soul, as it is called, the minister find. This is not a sole trader. Trinidad and Tobago is a public company. And it's not a public company where a few board members really control everything and it's really for them and they take the most shares and they overpay themselves and then they throw a little crumbs dividends. It's supposed to be where they seek the interest of the shareholders, where they work in the best interest of everybody. Get conscious, Trinidad and Tobago. Mind your business. Get conscious. In whatever capacity that you can, and not taking away personal responsibility as well, whatever capacity that you can create, produce, contribute to Trinidad and Tobago. I would love to see more of the energies of our people but being put into productive use. I'm passing young men on the street. I'm passing them and I'm seeing them idle energy, life that could have been used, that should be used towards productivity, to realize for themselves and also to realize for Trinidad and Tobago we need to do better. Alright? Sorry, we're out of time, so I can't take any more calls, but we're back here tomorrow. I am not... Get it out of your mind that I am just being critical of whatever you think you hold as dear to you. I hold dear to me the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This country that I am invested in. Love yourself, love your family, love your country, and let us work together. Alright, so we'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Tell a friend, Mondays to Thursdays. Take care.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Attention business owners. Are you looking to reach a vast audience and boost your brand's visibility? Then look no further. The Street 919 FM is here to help you shine. With over 170,000 followers on our social media platforms, our radio station is the perfect platform to showcase your products and services. Join us and let your message be heard by thousands of eager listeners. Contact us now to learn more about our affordable advertising packages. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to connect with your target audience. Advertise with the Street 919 FM today. For more information, call 399-5959, 384-2232 or 378-1470.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never